Welcome to your very first flipped classroom video. It would be more beneficial to you to try and go through the whole video as if you were at home and did not have my help today. If you do have a question specifically about the technology or something's going wrong, then please ask. But if it's about the content, please just make notes that you have a question or you don't understand, as if you were watching this at home by yourself and I wasn't with you. So you should have your notes page in front of you. We're going to work through the first 6 examples together, and then you'll have the last 2 to do on your own, and you'll be putting those answers into your Google form for feedback. So to begin, we need to combine like terms. We're going to start out pretty simple, and we'll be working our way to more difficult problems as we go. So combining our W's, we have 1.5 W, and combining our constants, we have 12. By the way, my handwriting is really bad. Maybe it'll get better throughout the year. Then to isolate the W, we'll have to subtract 12. Remember, we always do opposite operations. So since it's a plus 12, we're going to subtract 12, which will eliminate the constant, and we're left with negative 12 equals 1.5 W. And then we'll divide by that coefficient. And negative 12 divided by 1.5 is negative 8 equals W. You also have a place on your handout to do a check. So you're going to replace the W in the equation with our answer, which was negative 8. So go ahead and pause the video to do your check. And then when you play again, the check will appear for you so you can see how you did. So I hope your check looks similar to my check. Then you just have a graph. So we're going to graph our solution. You really just need to label one of those lines as your solution. And then we'll put a dot there and label it as W. In the future, we will be doing inequalities, which is why we're practicing the graphs. But for now, your graph is pretty simple. If you're ready, you can move on to the next problem. Don't let the fractions scare you. Halves and fourths, not a big deal. We're going to combine like terms. Half minus a fourth leaves us with 1/4 m plus 7 equals negative 5. Then we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. 1/4 m equals negative 12. Then we're going to divide by the coefficient. Remember that dividing by 1/4 is the same as multiplying by 4, which means m equals negative 12 times 4, or negative 48. Go ahead and pause it to do your check. So here is your check as well as a graph. From here on out, if you would like to do the work first and then check to see if you got it right, that's fine. Remember, these videos are to help you. So whatever method you think is most beneficial, then that's what you need to do. Go ahead and take care of business. As we move forward, I will no longer be showing you the check or the graph. I'll just be showing you the problem. So moving on with number 3. Now we have parentheses, so we're going to be distributing first. Remember, when you distribute the term in front of the parentheses to everything inside the parentheses. This z has nothing to do with the parentheses, so the z just stays there. Then we're going to distribute the 4 to the 2z, so we're multiplying 4 times 2z plus 8z. And then 4 times 3 plus 12 equals 15. Our next step would be to combine like terms. So we have a z plus 8z, which gives us 9z plus 12 equals 15. And then from here, this looks pretty simple. We'll be doing the opposite operation of the constant, minus 12, 9z equals 3. Divide by the coefficient of z. 3 divided by 9. So we're just going to reduce that fraction to 1/3. Go ahead and pause your video to do your check. And when you're ready, move on to question 4. All right, so for number 4, again, distributing. Don't forget about this negative. This is negative 1/2. So we have to distribute the entire term. That negative belongs to the 1/2. So we'll have negative 1/2 b, and negative 1/2 times 2 is negative 1, plus 3b equals negative 1. We can go ahead and combine our b's, combining like terms. So we have negative 1/2 b and 3b. So that'll leave us with 2 and 1/2 b minus 1 equals negative 1. Add 1 to both sides. Don't forget this half. We can just write that as 2.5. b equals 0. And if you divide that by 2.5, you have b equals 0. Go ahead and do your check, and then pause when you're ready to move on to number 5. Great. Number 5, we have 2 different parentheses. So this first parentheses will be distributing the 2. The second parentheses will be distributing a 3. But we can go ahead and do that all together. So 1 equals 2 times 3d plus 2 times 5, then plus 3 times 2d plus 3 times 5. Our next step is to combine like terms. Oops, I really should have included that plus sign in that circle. So 12d plus the 10 and the 15, 25, equals 1. We'll subtract this 25, getting rid of that constant. So negative 25, negative 24 equals 12d. And then all that's left is to divide by the coefficient. Negative 2 equals d. Go ahead and pause for your check in your graph, and when you're ready, move on to question number 6. Great, so for question number 6, it looks like we just have some combining to do. We have these x's over here. Uh-oh, an x on that side. Let's go ahead and split up our equation. So let's combine this side first. Plus 6x minus 2x would be 4x. And then if we look at our constants, negative 14 plus 7 is minus 7 equals 1 plus 5x. So when we have these variables on both sides, you have so many options. The key is to get all the variables on one side and to get all of the constants on the other side. So when I look at this, I see that the right side has more x's than the left. So in order to keep my x's positive, I'm going to subtract 4x. Which leaves negative 7 equals 1 plus x. And now I'll subtract 1 from both sides. X equals -8. If you had wanted to do something different, you could have subtracted 5x. And then you would have added 7 to both sides and divided by a -1. You could have even dealt with the constants first, so subtracting the 1 first. Like I said, there's so many different possibilities here. So if you worked ahead and then were using this to check, as long as you have x equals -8, you're in the clear. So go ahead and pause your video to do your check in your graph, and then we'll talk about what you're going to do for number 7 and 8. So for question 7 and question 8, you'll be working on your own. When you finish, there is the Google Form document link attached to this video. It's in the comment section of the YouTube clip. So go ahead and click on that and fill in your responses. Part of your answer to that is your answer to questions 7 and 8. So make sure that you do 7 and 8 first before you try and do your Google Form page. Thank you so much.